welcome back to my YouTube channel, Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to my channel, okay, you guys? If you are new here, I cover 3 main topics. Well, first of all, welcome and thank you for subscribing. You will enjoy the content. So, I cover 3 main topics. Number 1 being travel with an emphasis on solo travel. Number 2 being all things dating. And number 3 being all things healing, childhood trauma, interpersonal issues, building confidence, becoming the best you, evolving, growing, whatever. All right. So tonight we are going to chit chat about a dating conversation. Okay. And as you can see by the title, we're talking about timelines when it comes to dating. Okay. So I broke down my conversation into 3 different talking points. Number 1 is going to be exactly what I'm talking about and my previous thoughts on it. Number 2, my current thoughts on it. And number 3, I'm going to kind of break down where I can see that men and women would have a different idea or outlook on this topic, okay? So number 1, let's get into exactly what timelines are when we're talking dating, okay? So when I say a timeline, I mean a lot of people have listen to media, listen to social media, listen to their mom, listen to their friends, and they've taken in a lot of false information and been kind of pressured or made to feel bad if they aren't proposed to within a certain amount of time, if they don't get certain gifts within a certain amount of time, if they aren't made a wife or a girlfriend within a certain amount of time, if they don't get these certain perks or certain attention within a certain amount of time. And I feel like there was a time when I was younger that I kind of fell into that too, right? Because if you're hearing this all over social media, you're seeing this on memes, you're hearing this from your friends, like everyone's saying it, you're going to kind of start to believe that, okay, this is how it's supposed to go. And you're going to kind of give people these ultimatums because you think this is how it's supposed to go, right? So I can admit when I was younger, maybe like high school, I did have this thing where I was like, well, hey, if we're dating or if we're talking, we need to be in a relationship by 3 months, because if not, what are we doing? Why am I talking to you for 7 months? Why are we dating for 5 months? Where's the relationship? Where is this leading to, right? Now, as far as marriage, I never really felt that way because I think I have always had this strong sense of how important marriage is and how critical it is for the 2 parties to know one another, to like one another, to trust one another, to get to know one another. So I never really felt that way as far as like super long-term relationships and getting married. Obviously, ideally, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, give it 10 years before we get married. No. But, you know, maybe 4 years, maybe 6 years, because you do really want to know the person that you're marrying. So I was never one of those girls personally that was like, oh, if he don't give me the rock by 4 years, I'm out. Or if he doesn't do this and that by 3 years, then I'm out. I know a lot of women that have done that do feel that way. But me personally, I just feel like it's not the smartest thing to do. And I think sometimes, you know, we listen to all this craziness in the media or on social media that's like, well, a man knows he loves you after 6 months. A man knows whether or not he wants to marry you after 3 months. And whether or not that's true, we can't really say. I mean, every man is different. Every woman is different. Everyone's idea of the perfect marriage and a happily ever after is different. And people are at different places in life. So yeah, he may know whether or not he wants to marry you after 3 months, but is he financially prepared to marry you after 3 months? Is he set in his career? Is he, you know, mentally there? Like, I don't think we can just throw that on every single man or every single woman, right? So those are my original thoughts. Now, my thoughts today on this subject are, I personally feel like with experience and wisdom, and there's an emphasis on experience because as you guys know on this channel, I have dated a lot, right? Please don't go crazy, because dating does not mean sleeping with everyone. Dating does not mean, being in everyone's face or being thirsty. Dating simply means getting to know the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever you like, and literally going on a date, right? So with that being said, I've had a lot of experience. I've had a lot of experiences. I've met a lot of different guys, older, younger, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different personalities. And I think I've learned that you really want to take your time, right? You really want to take your time when you're getting into a relationship. And you really want to take your time when you are trying to spend the rest of your life with someone, or you're pushing them to propose to you so you guys can spend the rest of your lives together, okay? So my thoughts today, even regarding a relationship, is take your time. Take your time, because it's 2022. What does that mean? That means things are strange. People are strange. Dating is strange, okay? So, the person that you may meet on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or speed dating or at work or at happy hour may very well not be who you think they are, okay? So forcing someone or pressuring someone to be with you after 3 months and you don't even really know that person is not the smartest thing to do, in my opinion, right? I think the wisest thing to do today when dating regarding short-term relationships or just a relationship would be take your time and get to know them. Really see who is this person underneath the outside image, right? Who is this person when they get angry? Who is this person when they're having really difficult times in life? Who is this person as far as personality? Who is this person as far as how they treat others? Who is this person in regards to finances, right? Who is this person in regards to understanding me and putting in the time to really build together? Who is this person in regards to commitment? Who is this person in regards to their healing journey and any of their traumas, right? Who's this person in regard to selflessness and selfishness, okay? What's important to them? What are they looking for? Does it align with what I'm looking for? Are we compatible? Is it really love? Is it lust? Am I even, sexually compatible with them? Do I truly find them attractive? Do we work well as a team? Is this person easily angered? How do we work out our problems, right? Is it like a lot of arguments, or is it typical arguments that are natural and healthy and we're able to work through them, right? Whole bunch of stuff. But there's a lot that you need to take your time getting to know with another person. And I no longer think there's any rush, because at the end of the day, we only got time, baby. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. It's not time wasted. You just learned a lesson. But if it doesn't work out and you've pushed and pressured someone, I feel like you come out feeling a little bit worse, because you were so ready for something that you got disappointed with, that wasn't meant to happen, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? And I don't think that we can force our way into a happily ever after. I was talking to someone recently, and I was saying, I think personally, for me, if I were to get married, when I get married, I want to know my partner for at least 4 years. And this person was so shocked and said, 4 years? You don't have 4 years. How old are you? You still need to have kids. You're not as young anymore. Or 4 years? I don't have 4 years. I'm this old and I want to have kids by this time, and da-da-da. And it makes sense. And that's what I'm going to get into next, is the guy's perspective versus the woman's perspective. But I just feel like, what are we rushing for, right? We're putting ourselves on a timeline because we're saying, oh, we don't really have time to play around anymore. But at the same time, you're then putting your mind in a place that's like, okay, well, I'm going to disregard and overlook a lot of important things about this person that I should be focused on and that I should be learning and that I should be paying attention to because I'm more concerned about the timeline. So, oh yeah, this person punches holes in the walls when they're mad, but look, she's 32. We ain't got much more time to have this baby. Oh yeah, this person is horrible with their finances and they splurge on Jordans every day, but look, we're 32 and we got to get married within the next 3 years. I'm not really sure that we're compatible. I mean, we get along like every other month, but for the most part, I don't really think we have much in common. But look though, he's this age, I'm this age, we gotta make this happen. No. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Get to know your person. All those things that I listed off that are key things to consider and look at, y'all need to be looking at that, okay? Those things can make or break a marriage or a relationship. Look at who you're with. Spend time with them. Not just a whole bunch of bedroom action. Spend time with them. Spend time outdoors. Learn things together. Spend time doing teamwork activities. Do romantic things. Do physical activities. Have them come over. Have you go to their spot, right? Like, travel together. All these things are going to show you this person in different lights. And that will help you to see, can I really get along with this person in all these different ways and shapes and forms? Do I really like this person in all these ways and shapes and forms? Who am I really dealing with? Can I deal with this long term, right? And then you start looking at, pregnancy and weddings and all that other stuff. But if you're not looking at those things first and you're prioritizing weddings and pregnancies and marriages and stuff, you are literally going to get yourself into something that you're not ready for, that you're not prepared for, that you don't really want with this stranger, because that's exactly what it is a stranger. And y'all are unfortunately probably not going to make it too far. I believe this is what's happening when we're seeing all of these like quick engagements, quick marriages. I swear every time I look at my timeline, I'm seeing they literally got married last summer. Now their profile says single. It's December. Like, what's going on, you know? Or they literally got engaged 3 months ago. Now he's out in the club yelling that he's single. What's going on? She was literally just pregnant, engaged. Now she's pregnant, engaged again the next year with someone else. You know what I mean? And it's like, to each their own. Like, I'm not here to judge, but it's like, look, guys, let's pay attention to the person that we're dealing with first before we pop questions and put rings on and do all this other stuff, because it's so important to know who you're dealing with, especially character. Like I said, we are in a time where people are phony, people are fake, people are self-centered, people are users, people have bad intentions, right? So you want to look at someone's character. You want to know who you are dealing with. Trust me, because it can really affect you in the long run. And you don't want to be tied to someone legally when things hit the fan, okay? So that's my outlook on timelines now. I say take your time in dating, take your time in deciding whether or not you want to be in an official relationship, take your time in getting engaged, take your time in getting married, know who you are dating. I personally think that 4 years is a good amount of time to know someone before you get married. I think the first year you literally don't know them. Yes, I said it. After 1 whole year, you still do not really know the person. After 2 years, I think you have a good idea, but that person can still be hiding a lot of stuff. After 3 years, I think for the most part, you're in the clear. But I think that 4th year really puts you at a place where it's like, okay, If we feel in love, 9 times out of 10, we are in love. If I feel that I can trust you and you have good character, I've seen you in this instance, I've seen you in that instance, we've had this falling out, we've had this issue, we were able to work through this, I can see where you feel this way, I can tell that you care about me, I've seen you sacrifice this, I think we're pretty solid. Now, don't hold me to it, because people have known each other for 12 years and still not made it, right? But I just think that 4 years is a safe amount of time to say, okay, I know this person pretty well, I trust this person, and I think that committing to this person would be a good idea. I was on a live not too long ago with a bunch of guys, I think it was like 3 guys, and they asked me for a woman's perspective as well. And once again, I said 4 years, and they jumped and they were like, 4 years, 4 years. And then they sat and thought about it and they were like, no, you're right. Because that first year, you don't really know someone. Think about like think about having a teacher for a school year. You know him or her, but you don't really know him or her. And I know that that's different because it's a romantic relationship versus, you know, a platonic relationship with your teacher, but you don't really know that person. A coworker, you can get close to a coworker, go to happy hour, do projects with them. You still don't really know them. You can make a friend in a year and not really know that friend. Sure, you guys hung out 20 times, but you don't really know them, right? You got to really get to know people. You have to know who you're dealing with. You have to know who you're sleeping with. Prioritize that, okay? Now, last but not least, I'm going to end this video by speaking about the difference between men and women on this topic. So for men, I do think that they have a little bit more of an extended timeline just because for women, obviously, there is fertility issues that come into play after a certain age. You do want to be able to be there for your child, run around with your child, have the energy for your child. You also want to be able to have a healthy birth. So for men, their timeline's a little bit more extended because they don't have to worry about that. However, I am hearing more young men actually say that they would rather settle down sooner than earlier so that they can build with their family, get the children out the way. You know, they're tired of being in the streets. That's what I'm hearing from quite a few men, right? And I think that for men, I'm seeing, surprisingly, that they're rushing the timeline a little bit more than women now. I think the roles have kind of switched, and a lot of women are kind of like, you know, taking their time. They've been hurt. They've been through really taxing, draining situations, and they're like, well, you know, I'm gonna take my time. Some women are taking time away from dating. Some women are being celibate. So it seems as if at this very moment, men are wanting to speed up that timeline a little bit more because maybe they have reached their peak in their career, or they're getting there, they purchased their home, they're doing well, and they're feeling like, I'm ready for a good woman. I'm ready for my wife. I'm ready for a family life, right? And I can understand that. I can understand them not wanting their wife to be older, trying to have children. I can understand them wanting to still be in their prime and start their family, right? Now, as far as women, the timeline, once again, you know, that is an issue when it comes into giving birth. Also, some women want to get married in their 20s or their 30s, so that can be a thing too. But like I said, I think that things have kind of switched because now I'm seeing a lot more women saying that, you know, they have all the time in the world. They're not rushing it. They're taking their time. They're doing them. And this is women up into their 30s, at 30, at 33, at 36, at 40 saying this, you know, so these aren't really, really young women. I remember there was a thing where, like, you know, 21-year-olds were saying that, or 19-year-olds or 24-year-olds. But now I'm seeing more and more 33 and 35-year-olds say this, you know? So maybe the roles have switched. However, I can definitely see how for a woman, she may want to speed up the timeline just because, you know, she wants to have healthy children and be able to still play with them and like be a mother. But I can also see the men where they're saying, well, hey, you know, pump your brakes. I got a little bit more time on my hands. However, like I said, it looks like those thoughts and roles have switched. So that's not for me to really say too much on, but it is what it is. So you guys, that is the end of this video. You guys comment below and let me know what you think. As a woman, how do you feel about dating and timelines? How do you feel about timelines for marriage and getting engaged? And as a guy, how do you feel about timelines? Do you have a certain timeline that you're like, hey, by this time, if I'm dating her, I know I want to be moving towards marriage at this point? Or are you kind of like, hey, I've had my share of experiences. I want to make sure that this girl is my wife for sure, and I'm going to take my time. Let me know. All right, you guys. See you next time.